to talk about some basic Hydraflo troubleshooting. One of the most common problems you get is a noisy drive unit, and the first thing you always want to look at is you want to make sure that that oil supply valve to the hydraulic pump is fully open. Again, like we mentioned earlier, if that valve is closed, it's going to make a horrendous noise. So the first thing you want to do, make sure that valve is open. Another source of hydraulic noise is hydraulic vacuum. We have the vacuum gauge set. You can see the back of it here. This is the back of the vacuum gauge. It's set for 5 inches of mercury. So as soon as the vacuum reaches 5 inches of mercury, it's going to shut the engine off. But you're still going to have to try to figure out why it did that. And one of the most common reasons, aside from this valve not being open, we talked about that before, this valve has to be open at all times when the engine is cranked. Another possible reason could be inside the hydraulic tank, you've got a stainless steel mesh strainer that's on the end of this pipe. And I'm going to go ahead and take the top off. Of course, normally this is bolted down. We've taken the bolts off ahead of time. But if you look down inside, you can see the stainless steel strainer where the hydraulic oil passes through as it comes out this pipe and up to the hydraulic pump. A lot of times we get some sludge built up around that, and that's going to start cutting off the hydraulic flow to the hydraulic pump, which of course is where your vacuum is going to come from. So that strainer can be unscrewed. You can take it out and you can pressure clean it, or get a paintbrush and some diesel fuel, any kind of cleaning solvent. You can clean that and you can put it back in, and that will almost certainly make the vacuum go away. Yet another source of noise can be cracks in the suction hoses or loose fittings. If you have a loose fitting, air will actually leak inside the suction circuit, get into the hydraulic pump, and cause it to cavitate. So that's a condition where you could actually be having your pump cavitate with absolutely no hydraulic vacuum, because you're leaking air inside the system. It does the same thing to the hydraulic pump. Once it gets in there, it makes it cavitate. So check all your hoses in the suction port, in the suction line. Check the vacuum hose, make sure the fittings are tight. Make sure the stainless steel bands on the hydraulic suction hose are tight. And make sure you don't have any cracks in any of the hoses from dry rot or just being out in the sun for too long. Another complaint you might have is that there's a vortex around the intake bell of the Hydraflo pump. Usually when that happens, it means the pump does not have enough minimum submergence. Typically on a Hydraflo pump, you at least want to have the hydraulic oil cooler completely submerged. If it's not completely submerged, you run the risk of overheating the hydraulic system, and you also run the risk of generating vortexes in the sump. Another common problem is when you're pumping water, when you've got your loading valve completely closed, when you're up to your 1800 RPMs and you've got full system pressure on the pressure gauge, the sight glass that we talked about that is not supposed to be moving when you're pumping water, if you see that thing start spinning when you're at full RPM, pump loading valve closed, full hydraulic pressure, yet that wheel didn't stop spinning, that generally means your static lift is too high. So you're basically trying to pump the water too high up in the air before it spills over into your discharge. Okay, another reason for this condition could be if the relief valve is set slightly too low. Each Hydraflo has a specific maximum pressure that it's designed to run at. If you're out in the field and you suspect your relief valve may not be properly set, the thing to do is call MWI and we will give you the correct setting of that relief valve. At that point, you can verify that it is in fact set correctly. Another reason we could have oil moving through the sight glass while you're pumping water is that there's some debris inside the intake bell that's interfering with propeller rotation. So another thing you might want to do is check the intake bell, make sure it's clear, make sure you don't have a plastic bag or a rope wrapped around the propeller. Another problem you could come up against is when you attempt to pump water, when you close the pump loading valve, you get no hydraulic pressure. First thing you want to look for is that make sure the relief valve is properly set. And again, whenever we talk about changing a relief valve setting, you always want to make sure you call back to MWI and get that correct number. Another reason why you can have no hydraulic pressure is that in the pump loading valve itself, that small valve we turn to load up the hydraulic system, there's a small O-ring in there. If that O-ring tears, it will not allow the valve to close. And that's something you could chase around for a long time and never find. I remember at one time I was in Egypt and I had that very same problem. Took me quite a while to track it down to the pump loading valve, but that's what happened. The O-ring inside the valve tore, and I thought I had the valve closed, but oil was still passing through it. Another problem could be that the propeller is buried in the mud. What happens is if you set your pump in a river or a pond that's got a soft bottom, the intake bell can actually kind of sink down into it. And as the propeller turns, it starts hollowing out a space. And if the water can't get it to the propeller, if there's mud blocking it, you're spinning that propeller and you've got no hydraulic pressure, you're not pumping water, and you've got no idea what's going on. Make sure the propeller and the intake bell is free and clear if you have no hydraulic pressure when you're trying to pump water. Another problem you might have is that when you close the pump loading valve, you have pressure, but you're not pumping water. So in this condition, we've got the loading valve closed, we've got pressure, but there's no water coming out the end of the pipe. Possible problem is the water pump propeller is not turning. You want to check the intake bell, check the propeller for debris. Another possible cause might be that the thrust bearings in the water pump are damaged, not allowing the water pump to turn. Or perhaps the hydraulic motor in the water pump may be damaged. So you want to basically check the drive chain of the Hydraflo pump. The motor, the bearings, make sure all that stuff spins freely and is not damaged. Another possible problem could be that the drive hoses aren't possibly connected. When we take a hose and couple a drive unit and a pump together, we have fittings with quick couplers on them. It's basically a check valve that opens when you screw the fitting on, it opens the check valve. If that fitting isn't screwed all the way down, the check valve's not going to open and the oil's not going to get through. So you're trying to pump water, you got all kinds of hydraulic pressure, but there's no water coming out, and the reason there is it can't get through to the hydraulic motor. So verify that all of the quick couplers are fully seated. On the hydraulic return filter, you start up a brand new unit and all of a sudden it's got a dirt indicator on top of it, and that dirt indicator goes into the red zone, which means it needs to be changed. And you're thinking, what the heck, I just changed this thing, or hey, it's a brand new unit, why is it doing this? There's a couple of reasons it could be doing it. Number one, if it's cold outside, the hydraulic oil is going to be cold and it's not going to want to flow as freely as warmer hydraulic oil will. The hydraulic filter dirt indicator will interpret that thicker oil as contamination because it's not passing through the filter as easily as warmer oil will. So what I usually tell people is ignore the dirt indicator until the Hydraflo has come up to temperature. Once it's up to temperature, if it's still in the red zone, go ahead and change the filter element. The other possible reason could be the oil could just be contaminated. After about 5,000 hours, it might be a good idea to have your oil analyzed, make sure it's okay. But again, usually when you get this situation going on, either the oil is in fact dirty and the filter is in fact getting clogged, or the oil is just too cold to pass through the filter quickly enough. So again, if you get this alarm, just let it run until it's warmed up and then have a look at it and see where it is. Okay, another problem could be if you move your Hydraflo to a different location, you go to pump water and all of a sudden it sounds like the diesel engine wants to stall when you close the pump loading valve. It could be that the propeller's obstructed. Make sure the propeller is free and clear. Make sure the intake bell is free and clear. Make sure the water's coming into the pump and it can get out of the pump unobstructed. Another problem could be is if this very same unit was working fine at another location and it's only bogging down, the engine's only bogging down at this new location, it could be that you're trying to pump too much head. So compare the head at the new location to the head that you were previously pumping at. Make sure that you're not trying to go up over a taller hill or up over a taller pile of rocks or whatever. Check the TDH. The next problem could be that the Hydraflo pump all of a sudden seems like it's not pumping as much water as it was before. Again, first thing you check, debris in the sump. Is the water actually able to get up inside the pump? Next thing you want to check is the relief valve. Is the relief valve properly set? And again, whenever there's a question about setting a relief valve, make sure you call MWI to get that correct number. You could have a damaged hydraulic motor inside the hydraulic pump. That could also reduce your water flow. Your propeller blades could also be worn down. In very silty environments, it's possible for the propeller blades to get worn down from silt. So if you start losing material off the propeller blades, that will also reduce your water flow. If you are ever pumping water and you walk up to the drive unit and you look at the pressure gauge and you notice that the pressure gauge is bouncing around like this, that is almost always an indication that the pump is breaking suction. In other words, you've pumped down so low that the water level is now equal to the pump intake. So what happens is the pump takes in a gulp of water, sends it up the tube, that causes the hydraulic pressure to spike. It runs out of water. That causes the hydraulic pressure to drop back down again. The pump's going to pick up another gulp of water, and the same process repeats over and over again, and that's what makes the pressure needle bounce around on the pressure gauge. You'll notice on this slide over my shoulder here that we're calling out a tattletale switch. It's the red button on the control panel. These are some of the older Hydraflos. A lot of the new ones don't use those anymore. Everything's done in the engine controller. But in the case of these older ones, when there's a hydraulic failure, hydraulic oil level, hydraulic temperature, hydraulic vacuum, there's a red button that would actually pop out. So if you're ever pumping and all of a sudden the engine shuts off, first thing you want to do is look at that red button or look at your engine controller, and it's going to tell you why it shut off. This is a continuation of the last slide. As you can see, we're still looking at this panel with the red tattletale switch on it. The previous slide talked about hydraulic oil level. This one talks about hydraulic oil temperature. So if the hydraulics overheat, you're going to have that red button popping out, or you're going to see an alarm flash on the engine controller. The next problem could be that the Hydraflo suddenly stops pumping water and the engine shuts off. The engine or the electric motor, some shutdown has been tripped, and this is kind of a continuation of the last couple of slides. High temperature, high engine speed, low oil pressure. If it's an electric motor, it could be a motor overload or a motor over temperature. It's important that when you have one of these shutdowns, always check the engine controller, because that's going to call out exactly what happened. If it's one of the newer ones, it's going to call it out on the hydraulic system as well as on the diesel engine. If you suddenly stop pumping water but the engine stays running, that means you did not have any kind of a shutdown. Something else happened. For instance, water could be no longer reaching the propeller. That could be a problem. That's going to make you stop pumping water with the engine still running. The hydraulic pump on the drive unit has failed. If something happens to the cartridge, the engine's going to keep running, but you're not going to be moving hydraulic oil, which means you're not going to be moving the hydraulic motor, and you're not going to be turning the propeller, and you're not going to be pumping water. You could also have a hydraulic motor failure in the water pump. Again, the engine's going to keep running, whether or not that motor is working or not. So whenever you have a loss of water always consider it's probably not any kind of a shutdown. You probably have something else going on like I just discussed. This video was meant to be a basic overview of Hydraflo operations, startup, and troubleshooting. If you have any specific questions about anything that's going on, please contact MWI Corporation. Ask to speak to someone in the service department or someone in engineering, and we can definitely help you through whatever problem you might be having. Thank you for your attention.